In the early 1970s, a group of MIT researchers created one of the most shocking computer models ever built. This model predicted something unbelievable. Modern society could start collapsing around the year 2040. At that time, almost everyone laughed at the idea. People thought the world was too advanced to collapse. But the MIT team didn't work on guesses. They used one of the first large-scale economic and environmental simulations ever created. The project was published in 1972 as The Limits to Growth. The main question was simple. What will happen if humans keep growing population and the economy the same way we are doing today? The model they built, called World 3, combined 5 major systems: population, industrial output, food production, pollution, natural resources. These systems were connected like gears in a machine. If one gear fails, the others start failing too. The results surprised even the MIT scientists. Their simulation showed rising population until the early 21st century, rising industry and economic output, rising pollution and resource use, but then things change. From 2020s onward, the system starts to slow down. Resources get harder to extract. Food production becomes unstable. Pollution creates environmental stress. Industrial growth declines. Economies struggle. MIT didn't predict explosions or instant destruction. They predicted a slow economic and social collapse. What does MER collapse mean? Not the end of humanity, but the end of modern living standards. Expensive food, weak governments, unstable economies, rising inequality, more social unrest, declining quality of life, basically. Life becomes harder year by year. The most shocking part? The model predicted that the real decline would begin around 2040 if nothing changes. For decades, people ignored the study. But then, something strange happened. In 2020, a researcher from KPMG named Gaia Harrington compared real-world data with the MIT model. And she found that the world is following the collapse scenario very closely. Population trends? Accurate. Industrial slowdown? Accurate. Rising pollution? Accurate. Resource pressure? Accurate. Everything is matching. And that's why today, more experts are saying, maybe MIT wasn't wrong. Maybe they were early. Let's talk about what collapse actually looks like. MIT said collapse would not happen suddenly. It would be a chain reaction, several systems breaking at the same time. Step 1. Resources become expensive. At first, resources don't run out. They just become harder to get. Today we see this: rising oil extraction costs, expensive minerals, water shortages, rare earth mineral pressure. Exactly what MIT predicted. Step 2. Industry slows down. When resources are expensive, industries must spend more on extraction. This lowers profits and slows growth. Right now, global manufacturing is struggling with supply chain issues, higher material costs, energy price spikes, slower productivity. MIT predicted this industrial slowdown before 2040. Step 3. Pollution increases. More industry means more pollution. Today we see climate change, wildfires, droughts, floods, ocean pollution, toxic air in major cities. Pollution damages agriculture and human health, making economies weaker. Step 4. Food systems become unstable. Food becomes harder and more expensive to produce. Just look at recent years. Global food price spikes, droughts destroying crops, fertilizer shortages, water scarcity, extreme weather hurting agriculture. MIT said food pressure would be one of the early signs of collapse. Step 5. Political and social stress. When people feel poorer, they lose trust in governments. Real-world examples: protests, riots, extreme political division, unstable elections, collapsing currencies, angry populations. MIT warned that political systems would start showing cracks around the 2020s, 2030s. Step 6. The slow collapse begins. Collapse is not one event. It is a decline in living standards, expensive essentials, weaker infrastructure, lower economic growth, higher unemployment, inequality exploding. And many economists believe we have already entered the early stage. Countries will be affected differently. Stronger nations, US, Canada, Australia, Scandinavian countries. These places have strong institutions, money, and resources. Weaker nations, South Asia, Middle East, parts of Africa. These regions face more risk because of Water issues, population pressure, and weaker economies. MIT didn't say collapse will destroy the world. They said it will change the world into something harder, poorer, and more unstable. Here's the big question. Is collapse guaranteed, or can we stop it? MIT was very clear. Collapse happens only if humanity continues business as usual. If we keep growing population, pollution, and industry the same way, then yes, collapse around 2040 is likely. But MIT also ran another scenario called the stabilized world. In this version, humanity makes big changes. Switches to renewable energy, reduces pollution, stabilizes population, uses resources more efficiently, improves global cooperation, reduces extreme inequality. If these actions are taken, society avoids collapse and enters a stable future. But there's a catch. These changes must be made before 2030. And many experts argue that window is closing fast. So where does the world stand today? Some positive signs. Renewable energy growing. Electric vehicles expanding. Awareness about climate change rising. Technology becoming more efficient. But negative signs are stronger. Rising global debt. Extreme heat and disasters. Expensive resources. Political division. Slowing economies. Food price spikes. Water shortages. Economists say we are at a crossroads. One road leads to collapse. One road leads to stability. Which road we take depends on decisions made in the next decade. The biggest misunderstanding. People think collapse is one big event. MIT never said that. Collapse is a process. Standards of living drop. Goods get expensive. Governments weaken. Social unrest increases. Economies shrink. Systems break slowly. Some argue this process has already started. But collapse is not the final outcome. Humanity can still change direction. MIT's message was not fear. It was a warning that the world still has time to act. Final thoughts. Will the world collapse in exactly 2040? Probably not. No model can be that precise. But the trend is real. And the MIT model has matched reality for 50 years. The true lesson is simple. Infinite growth on a finite planet is impossible. At some point, systems must change. The next 10-15 years will decide the future of human civilization. Will we collapse, or will we adapt? That answer is still in our hands.